This is Ricky Dean with the marketing department. Today I'm going to be running through our website analysis for Axim Supply. Typically we always start with the website, but it's currently down. And we also have these nice beautiful reports that we can do that shows you where you're currently ranked, what keywords you're ranked for. Unfortunately, on this particular site, you're only ranked for the keyword Axim Supply. So today we're going to start off with some of the competitive links that you sent over, and we're going to start with Provista because to the eye, Provista is probably my favorite site of the three that we've analyzed. There's several problems with Provista. The first is see how when I move it up and down, this little folder icon still stays up here? That's because this is built on a form of a Microsoft product that's more made for internal communications and collaboration. But you can publish websites, and they've done that with this. And what this folder is doing is showing that if you had permissions on the server, you could go up to the previous folder that this is held in. So basically this is being served in an iframe, which Google doesn't read iframes. But they've done some tricks. They've done some SEO on the frame here. So they're probably ranked pretty good for now, and we'll go into that in detail here in a minute. But they're not going to be that way for very long. Google looks down on that pretty severely. But to the eye, I like this one the best. It's got a lighter color to it. It shows the hospitals and the universities, so it gives it a good stable feel, and it shows people. I also like how they have the segmentation down here. Are you in healthcare? Are you in education? Are you a corporate? Are you a business? Or are you in the hospitality industry? And I'm not sure. I know that hospitality is probably not going to be your sweet spot. But what we would probably do is break this down into 3 categories and focus on those 3 categories, with physicians and groups being 2 of those. I do like the way they have a big sign up, so that's their big call to action on this site. The problem is it doesn't describe what you're signing up for. When we go in and we look at the actual HTML of this page, the very first thing that comes up to me right now is the title of the page is Home. So as you might imagine, there's lots and lots of homes out there. So in this particular case, I won't go into what they should be doing. I'm just going to point out that that's bad. The other thing that's missing here is normally in this lineup you have a line that says meta description, and that is missing, totally missing. And the meta description is how Google and Facebook and all the other search engines actually know how to rank your site and what to rank it for. So that's totally missing. And so again, they've got some good popularity. It's a good looking site, and they're getting right to the point. The last thing I'm going to pick on the site about is that it's not mobile ready, and they're using Flash. So if you've got a smartphone or an iPad, I encourage you to go look at this site. And when I did an Alexa ranking, they're actually 40% of their traffic is coming from mobile. So so they're missing out on 40% of their traffic. So that's like not being open on Tuesday, if you want to put it in the comparison field. All right, so the other site that you sent over was Innovatics. I don't like the dark feel of this site, and it's got the apple and the lunch bag, and that's focusing on their call to action, or their main call to action, which is to sign up for that lunch and learn. And we do like using webinars and things like that to sell to many, and we record the webinar and then we publish it later. And we'll get into that more when we get into the search engine optimization. They do have a couple other call to actions. One is to call the toll-free number, or the other is to select new member. But the new member is actually below the fold. This new member, when you click on it, it actually takes you to the registration, membership quick start. So they haven't really sold you on anything before they want you to click on that new member. So it's kind of doing the same thing as the other site was doing it. They've got some call to actions there. They're just not, in simple terms, they're not selling it. But this site is actually structured better when you go and you look at the structuring of it. They do have meta information. Again, the title of their page is Innovatix Group Purchasing Organization, GPO. The title, Google, when they come to your site, they base how they're going to rank you initially off of three main things. The very first thing is the title of the page. So what we like to do is tell Google how we would like to be ranked. So they're being ranked initially for Innovatix Group Purchasing Organization, which is not going to have a whole lot of searches in Google. The fact that they do have Group Purchasing Organization is going to rank them higher, but that Innovatix and the GPO is kind of confusing Google, and they don't know where to go. So we like to name the page with as brief of a description as possible. In their meta description, Google allows for about 140 characters, so you want to sell that as best you can, because when you do a search for something, this is the phrase that comes up in that search term. And right now, once you get to 140 characters, it's stopping. So they're probably not even seeing this part of it in Google. What they're going to do is, what Google will do is they'll put ... after that, like continued. So it really doesn't stand out. Sometimes we like to just do, real short phrase here, so that there's a big white gap between the search phrases or the search results. That actually will make it stand out a little bit better and be more of a call to action right there on the Google search results. All right, and these guys also have keywords. Keywords are very important. A lot of SEO companies, search engine optimization companies, will say that they're not, but they really are. They're not as important in Google as they used to be, but they are very important on ranking on other sites. And I'll describe that a little bit when we get into the Google tools. In other sites, believe it or not, Facebook is actually becoming more and more of a search engine ranking determination. Google is still, 90% of the internet searches, but they're getting up there. Again, this site is not mobile ready, and Axim ranking is actually showing them better. They're getting about 60% of their traffic coming from mobile. They do have 246 pages indexed, so on this website they should have 246 pages. If they don't, Google may have some old pages ranked. Google is not coming to this page very often, so they're not saying, "Hey Google, come check us out." They do have quite a few pages coming into the site, so they've got some backlinks. On the page elements is showing that HTML and CSS validation has failed for several of these, which is good for us, which is saying, hey Google, I've got problems on this website. So what we want to do is make sure we don't have any problems. And they do not have a meta robots. And that's why Google is not coming to them very frequently. So all of our sites have meta robots. We submit directly to Google once we create a new page. So as soon as we create the page, we go to it automatically goes to Google and says, hey, come index us. The Google bot will come and spider it, and we have a robot text file that gives them a map of what to go spider. Again, it's showing that the meta keywords is 544 characters and that the meta description is 257. Again, we have 140 and we have about 200 for meta keywords. Then again, in there's the suggestions that this particular tool's given us is that they're saying the title tag, your title tag is 45. It is short enough to show in SERPs. The problem is that it's not very descriptive. Meta description is too long, like we talked about, and although Google doesn't read the keywords, that there's a lot of them on this page. And now we're going to get into the good stuff, the good part of that. So we went to Google and we said, hey, analyze this page and tell us what keywords they're using. That kind of tells us, hey, this might be what we want to target for and start searching for. So we went over there and we did that. And apparently this website's owned by the Greater New York Hospital Association. That's not showing me here. I just went and did a little research and found that out. And one of their keywords is Greater New York Hospital Association. And then this is the acronym, of course. And then they have HIGBA, Ambulatory, Amerinet, Clinical Laboratories, Colleges and Universities, Consortia, Contracting, ESNA, Food, So if you do a search for food in Google, these guys are saying, hey, when you do a search, come to my website. Obviously, that's going to be ranked very, very low. They're not going to come up at all. And they are not going to get a lot of traffic. So why even have that word in there? Health Trust, Health Care. So they've got a couple coming and going. They're not getting any impressions or ranking on any average positions for any of these words. Thus, they're not getting any clicks. Even on oncology, which is one of the preferred keywords. All right, so that's the keywords they're using, and typically, and that's why we ask for competitive websites. So all we have to do to get you ranked in Google better than your competitors is have better keywords and position those keywords better. Well, this isn't helping us a whole lot, so we don't have that basis to go from. So in that case, what we do is we go to Google and say, hey, give us some keyword ideas. So we've done that, and they've given us keyword ideas, and this is their estimated cost if we were going to use Google as a pay-per-click tool. And in our proposal, we do suggest doing that, but what we actually do is we use Google to tell us what those preferred keywords are, and then we build your website based on those keywords. So we're going to get indexed organically. Where we're going to utilize the pay-per-click tool is we're going to, of course, be focusing on these keywords, but we're also going to be focused on specific search phrases other than keywords. That's where Google pay-per-click keyword or tool is going to come in handy. The other side of that is going to be on other websites, and I'll show you that in more detail in 1 minute. So what this is saying, and don't be alarmed by the numbers I'm about to throw out here. If you were a major buyer group and you had all the money in the world to spend on advertising, because you know that for every advertising dollar you spend, you make X amount of dollars back. That's what this tool's for. So right now we're going to pretend like we've got all the money in the world, and we're going to go in here and see how we could most effectively get a return on our investment dollar for each one of these phrases and keywords and search results. So right now what this is saying is that if you spent $0 per day, you have a potential of about 8,000 times per day your ad being shown. And that's 7,546 eyeballs that would see an ad. All right. On the high end of that, we have a potential is if we spent $18,266 per day, our ad would show 285,000 times per day, and we would get 12,000 clicks on average. And what we typically do in here when we're looking at a client is we go in here to where the bell curve starts ramping over, and it's going to be right in this area. So a more feasible budget for a large corporation to come into this would be about $3,500 a day. Out of that, it would cost them 95 cents per click, and they would get about 8,800 clicks per day. All right, and if we do our average conversion ratio out of 8,800 clicks per day, and we can convert about 10% of those, that would be 800 buyers or signups per day. So for $3,500 a day, we would get 800 people filling out our forms or contacting us to go to the next step in the sales process on average. So, and that does scale down. So if we went down and we spent $188 or even $58 a day, we would get about 1,500 clicks. The way that we convert at about 10%, you can see how that kind of scales up and down. So that's how we kind of base what we should be targeting on. So this is Google's estimated clicks per day. So let's convert over to cost per day, and let's give it a budget. So we're going to do a daily budget, and let's just do $20 a day and see what it says. So if we spend about $20 a day, we would get, let's go to $1. At $20 a day, we would get about 48, right around 50 clicks a day. The max cost that we're going to pay when somebody clicks on our ad is going to be about $1. And at about $1, we're going to get about 50 people a day clicking on the ad to come to our website to learn more. Out of those 50 a day, we convert 10% of them on average. So that's kind of the way that works. We also write our ads with a old school direct marketing copywriter type guy. So our actual impressions per day versus click per day is actually a little higher as well. If we were to go on a pay-per-click type of campaign, we would actually want to break that budget up to where we're spending a little bit more in the very beginning so that we could optimize those ads so that your bang for the buck per ad is actually going to be greater as well. But in this example, I'm just saying, okay, this is the keywords and how many clicks per day that we could get if we paid for those keywords and we didn't do any search engine optimization at all. Because search engine optimization is probably not going to be benefiting you for about 3 months after we do our initial revamp of the website and relaunch. With pay-per-click marketing, we can do the revamp and the relaunch. We launch the campaign and you start getting leads tomorrow. So now the other thing we did was we went into Google and said, okay, give us some keyword ideas and let's break those down into ad groups. So what an ad group is, an ad group would be targeting one individual. So you picture who buys from me, and from our discussion, it's going to be the physicians, or it's going to be purchasing or CFOs or CEOs of these larger groups. Per month. And so what we've done is we've broken these down into different ad categories. We like to look for those low competition, larger search phrases. And these are the search phrases. It's only got 40 searches a month coming in, but what if we could get all 40 of those? Because there's no competition out there at all. That's kind of what we start looking at. Healthcare group purchasing organization is a longer search phrase. There's only 10 searches per month, but there's no competition. Group purchasing organization, even though that's what one of Innovatic's keywords was, there's 480 searches per month and low competition. All right, and this is an average of over the past 12 months. So we could get ranked very, very quickly on that. And again, it's 480. We're not going to get them all, but what if we got 400 of those per day coming in? All right, and this is just for health purchasing groups. We also have several others like pharmacy, pharmacy LTC, specialty pharmacy market, pharmacy services, those type things. All right, and then lastly, what we did here was we said, okay, what if we took some of our keywords, and we know magazines and websites that doctors and procurement officers and buyers go to. What if we individually targeted those people on different websites? So that's what this is telling us, is that for our keyword selection, we could set about 50 million to 100 million cookies per week, and our ad would be seen between 5 billion and 10 billion times. Pretty unreal numbers, I know. And remember, you're not paying but $1 or $2 per click. So it doesn't matter how many people see it, we're going to pay $1 or $2 per click. So if we did a $20 a day budget, and we showed this ad for $1 per day, we would get 20 people from each of these different categories coming to our website for us to be able to convert. Ironically, this is a pretty upside down ratio. I was expecting male buyers to be a lot higher than females, but it turns out it's not. 34% of our buyers are going to be male and 40% are going to be female. So some of the individual targeting ideas is going to be like on vitals.com, hospital data, find a physician, MD travel, hospital sourcing. So hospital sourcing is a great website. It actually lets us do text ads, leaderboard ads across the top, ads across the right side. The average history for cost per click is between $2 and $2.50. And we can get about 20,000 to 25,000 weekly impressions. So this would probably be one of the main pages that we target. And again, what this is websites that are made for doctors to come and look. So, and then when we get into remarketing, what remarketing is actually anybody clicks on our ad and comes to our webpage. All right, and with search engine optimization, we're going to have a web page, and it's going to be optimized to convert each one of these individual customer avatars. In a pay-per-click environment, what we would probably do is we know who that avatar is, so we build a page that's developed specifically for them, and we call this a landing page. Now, what's really nice about retargeting is that someone can come to our landing page or our web page by clicking one of our ads, and then for the next week or 3 weeks, up to 5 years, we can show our ads to them no matter where they go. They could go to the Chicago Tribune, they could go to the New York Times, they could go to YouTube, Amazon, all of these places, and they're continuously going to see our ads. That's going to do two things for us. One is going to give us feedback to let us know other places where doctors, buyers, and pharmacologists are going. The other thing that it's going to do is it's going to retrend your marketing to them over and over and over. So now it's part of a branding package, of course. So it's going to be rebranding you or branding you as the leader in the industry specifically to them. So we don't have to pay for all that mass marketing. We're targeting that buyer. So anyhow, that's our assessment right now to date. I wish I could show you those nice fancy reports, but unfortunately, we don't have enough substantial evidence to run those reports, and we can't find enough competition out there. And that's great news to you. We would be able to dominate this market for very little money on a monthly basis, and get you ranked up there real well, and get you lots of buyers signing up. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Again, the pay-per-click marketing, I encourage that. I encourage that for everyone. We do it. All of our customers do it, at least to some degree. And even if you're not interested in this, I've already set you up an account. We've got a $1 a month budget that we can apply to that. And what that does is just justifies to Google that you're a real company and come in. So if you want to take advantage of this, it's $500 for us to build out the landing pages and the campaigns, and then just you spend the money to drive ads in. And then when we go in and we make changes and optimization, things like that, we only make money when you make money. So if you spend $350 a month in pay-per-click marketing, we make 20% of that. So it's really effective, and it will absolutely help you build your return on investment to get buyers in, and helps you determine how much it's costing you to get each one of your customers in. Other than that, we've got the web design proposal set up and ready to go for you. It's about $1,900, and it's going to be about a 30-day turnaround. We're charging a little bit more than we typically do on this one because we don't have a site structure and content and all of that. So we're going to get our content writers and our graphic designers very involved on this project, and we're going to build you a great looking, high converting site, and that's search engine friendly, search engine optimized, and it's automatically mobile friendly. So it's automatically going to convert to the specific sizes for iPads, Kindle readers, smartphones, and there's all different types of screen sizes on smartphones. And this site is so smart that it's automatically going to detect what's seeing it and convert to the best display capability for that particular device. And it's going to track what devices is being displayed on. Right now, Google is, the evidence is showing that most user engagement is currently happening on a mobile device, and then they go to a computer to do a conversion. So, and it's pretty big numbers. 60 to 80% of your first engagement is going to be on a mobile device. Okay, here's a scenario. So a doctor is sitting there and he's playing Angry Birds on his Note 2. Your ad pops up at the very bottom. He clicks on the ad. It takes him to the website. He gets up, goes to his computer, and goes to learn more about your company on the computer. That's the average scenario that's happening on Google and on the internet right now. So we're getting you all set up for that. So if you got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call, and we'll be following up with you in a couple of days if we haven't heard anything from you by then. So thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.